Welcome to another episode of the StateSideReds. Boring Manchester derby, Mikey. But before we get into things, Mikey's got some announcements to make.
Yes, I'd like to say a big thank you to 𝗦𝗶𝗴𝙍. They have decided to be our new sponsor. They're going to help us with the protest efforts. Casey's mentioned them before. He's worked with them before, and they just decided to officially sponsor StateSideReds. So just wanted to give you a quick rundown on what 𝗦𝗶𝗴𝙍 is. It's a small local business dedicated to offering high quality, unofficial Manchester United t-shirts and apparel. So whether you're cheering from Old Trafford or from home, the Man United clothing will make you feel part of the action. They got all kinds of cool stuff. They get little trinkets and stickers and all that. And it's how it works is a subscription package. So they release a new T-shirt for every month. You could purchase or subscribe, and they'll send everything directly to your door with no minimum term. You could cancel at any time, no questions asked. And it's a monthly plan designed to provide you with a secure payment through Stripe or PayPal, and you could just get cool stuff all the time to your house, no questions asked, tiny fee, and it's yours. Shipped all around the world. And yeah, we're happy to have 𝗦𝗶𝗴𝙍 on. They're pretty big, and we're definitely grateful to have them for sure.
Yeah,
And also,
real quick there,
oh, go ahead.
Mikey. Just before you say, if you use discount code
That's
StateSideReds
right.
on the website,
That's right.
you will get 10% off the t-shirts.
Yep. So go make sure type in. We could put it somewhere on the screen. What is it right here? Here. I'm
Yeah, it's
looking
right
at
below you right now.
Right below you, right there. StateSideReds. Add that in. Get your discount. We're affiliated with them now, so yeah, we thank you, 𝗦𝗶𝗴𝙍, and thank everybody for tuning in once again. Oh, also, cannot forget our expert attorneys with the legal representation you need. Our experienced lawyers specialize in personal injury cases. We are dedicated to fighting for justice and fair compensation for our clients with a focus on personal injury and tort law, product liability, contracts, insurance laws. They're here to help you navigate the legal process. Contact us today if you or a loved one has been injured due to someone else's negligence. This is 𝗫𝗏𝗏, 𝗦𝗏𝗏𝗏 𝙍𝙀 LLP, located in Los Angeles, California, 15821 Ventura Boulevard, Suite 520 East Building, Encino, California, 91436. And that number is 747-444-4444. Opens at 8 a.m., man. Get in there early. Go see them.
Yeah, absolutely. I've heard that nothing but good things about them, so definitely go check them out. But let's jump into the show today. Boring Manchester derby. I've seen plenty of memes online. I saw one today that next season they're going to put beds in Old Trafford in the away section and in the home section. Yeah, it was a pretty boring derby, to be honest with you. I can't really say much of that. What was your thoughts on it, Mikey? I know you're probably the same.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like we played well. I will take that away from. I feel like we played well, but the same problems. There's a lid on the goal. Can't find the goal. So I feel like we played pretty decent. There was some times where there was some passage of play where we played around their press, and that's their biggest thing at City, right? They got the 7 and 10-second press before they get back in their shape. I felt like they did that a lot. They stymied our offense a lot by getting back into their shape and abandoning the press a lot earlier than I'm used to. But I also felt like we played around their press pretty good. This is the shittest City side we've seen in the last decade.
Yeah,
and
they
we
were
handled
horrendous.
them pretty. They were terrible. We handled them pretty good, except for Kevin De Bruyne. This is what Flex on United View said. That this was a testimonial match for him, and I agree. I agree. I mean, both teams looked like they weren't at it. We looked like the better team with less possession, playing around them, but just at the final third, just failed in the final third, and that's our problem. That's been our problem for the last few years.
It has.
Is scoring.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. Like, it's the scoring is a massive issue, and it really does need changing before for next season. Like, we cannot continue to go along with this. Good evening, Mr. Green. As always, thank you for popping in. Yeah, I see. This is one of the things that I wanted to bring up. Is like I can see, and I'll ask you the same thing. I can see Amrim's system coming to life now. I really can. Like obviously, I think Garnacho needs to be a little less selfish, and Dorgu's going down. Delo's coming across. They're both overlapping to get the crosses in. We can see more crosses coming in. Obviously, we can't score from crosses other than Delit or Maguire. They're the only two people that seem to be able to score from a corner or a cross. But overall, I do see the system coming to life. And it's just a shame that there is nobody other than Bruno Fernandes to put the ball in the net. Our reliance on Bruno is just out of this world this year. But that's the way it is. Like plenty of chances are being created for Manchester United, just no one to put the ball in the back of the net. And you're right, Mr. Green. Højlund is invisible. For me, we need an out-and-out striker, and I don't think Delap is the option. The guy's got 10 goals this season, and I know that's more than Højlund, but we need a 20-goal, at least 20-goal striker for next season. And I can't see Delap doing that in this Man United team. You?
Yeah, no, I don't rate Delat at all. I just don't. 10 goals isn't enough. I don't think, and I don't know what they're thinking there. Like, if we're gonna get him and someone else, then okay. Like, I'm all right with, like, if he's gonna come on a deal that's cheap, and then we're also gonna go for like an Osherman or somebody to put with him, then yeah, I'm okay with that. But this idea that he's the finished product and we need to be going after him is not something I support.
No, he's only
Um,
22. Like that's not something Man United need right now. Like for me, we have to go. If we're not like, it looks like Arsenal are gonna probably get good, right?
yeah.
Chelsea look like they may be in for Osman again. Why can't we go for Benjamin Sesko? If we could, he's a young player that scores a lot more goals. There's not too many 20-goal strikers though. You're right. Benjamin Sesko's a 20-goal striker. Arsenal wanted him, but now they're going to look at Gyökeres. I don't think Gyökeres is a good fit for Arsenal system. I don't. But they don't play the same system. I do understand though why United are looking at the lap, because no one on God's green earth would have said that Gyökeres would be an $80 million striker 4 years ago when he went to Sporting. The person that made him into that is now the Man United manager. So I can understand why we are looking at a younger striker, more like Delap. But if you could, maybe he's tried with Højlund and Højlund's just not it. I don't know if Højlund can play in this system. He doesn't hold the ball up well. What's your thoughts on maybe Sesko or someone like that?
It's all maybes right now, right?
Yeah.
Like, everybody's on the table until they aren't. So I'm not looking too much into it. I just don't want Delap. Like, he's the worst of all the. Like I said, if we're gonna get him plus something else, and he has to be on low wages, and I know he's not gonna want to do that. I mean, he might be forced because he's on a relegation side, so he's not gonna be too much money. But
No.
it's like the fact that they're talking about he's a priority. Like that is even being, he's like the words linked and priority. Man United linked with, and he's going to be a priority. Like, no, why? For what? 10 goals is enough for you to get on this Man United team? We've done this already. We've done this with Højlund. We did this with Xerxes. We've done this game before, and we end up paying for it. These two guys are worth 100 million.
If we can get Delap for 20-something million, 25 million, 30 million, okay. I'm fine with that.
I still think that's too much. I still think that's too much.
Well, what happens if you got Delap and maybe CUNHA? Because that's one of my talking points that I want to talk about is CUNHA. Because according to Ben Jacobs, CUNHA wants Man United. There are reports from Ben Jacobs and numerous other people that his agents are going to be flying into England, possibly talking with Manchester United. I think CUNHA's a good signing for the 10 position. I honestly think with CUNHA, we would probably score more goals with maybe Højlund or another striker.
Nah, I think we need the out and out guy that's
Yeah.
going to be able to make goals. That's not going to need another player to do it.
Mm.
If we got two strikers and he was one of the guys and he came on like 20 million or like 15 million, which isn't going to happen, I'd be okay then. But like him on his own and then to think that's going to remedy the striker issue that's too much for me. I'm not doing that. I want Cunha at all costs.
Yeah.
Right? If he's gonna be there, go get him. He's proven in this league, and him, Bruno, and Ugarte is gonna be perfect. Right? I think that's a perfect center back. Midfield trio with Bruno playing a little bit up higher. Fine, okay with that, but just not a fan. Just not a fan of the. Am I breaking up?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Oh, okay.
You're back now. It's back on green, so I can see when your internet goes to red, yellow, or green. You're back now, so it might have been just a little bit. Yeah, for me, CUNHA is someone that United should go and get at all costs. If that's going to be the most expensive signing that we do this summer, then fine. I think CUNHA fits really well into this system. He's going to create a lot of chances. He's going to score goals. He does it at Wolves. And then I think next year, I don't think we're going to be that dominant team that destroys everyone everyone home and away next season. But I think that we're going to be a lot better off next season. I honestly think, I've always believed this. I honestly think next season, if we can get players that he wants, we finish in the top. I don't think City are going to bounce back like they think they're going to. Yes, they're going to have the money to spend, but they just dropped 200 million in January and they haven't got any better. What makes you think that, in the summer that they're going to lose Kevin De Bruyne, that's a big loss. So for me, I don't see them getting much better next year. Liverpool are going to lose by the looks of it as of right now. Look, we're at the 7th of April right now, and their two best players are still not signed. The end of the season is what? Yeah, 2 months away. That's a month and a half away. So the season ends on May the 25th. They're still not signed. So they don't get them signed. There's a possibility Liverpool drop down. We'll see how good Arne Slot is next season without his top 3 stars. So for me, I still think we have the opportunity to finish top 5 next year if we can get some good. Yeah, Mr. Green saying De Ligt, CUNHA, and Osimhen. That's a great spine for Manchester United.
Yeah, I think it's too early to say. There's a lot of moves that need to be made. We don't know what these guys.
I'm just trying to be positive,
Yeah, I won't. That's gonna be even keel here. I don't know what's gonna happen. I can't predict where we will be or if we'll be better. Every year I think we're gonna be better, and we're just pretty much, except for the year we finished third and won. That was pretty much it. But yeah, I would like to have Cunha. I would like to have an actual striker. I would like to have somebody that could play left or right wing back and actually do it. I want depth. That's the biggest thing I'm looking for is depth with players that are not going to cost a lot of money, that are not going to have attitude issues down the line, is going to be able to play in this league. And that's what Man United needs to be focusing on, right? Is rejuvenating the culture at this club with players that are going to buy into the system that our new coaches have, which I'm seeing that these guys are starting to buy into. They're starting to play this certain way. Um, you know, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of what's going on now, but I can't think it's too early to say. And these guys love to say that they want to come here, they're gonna meet, and then that's just what they do to us.
Yeah, I saw Rio Ferdinand today saying that Man United shopping list in the summer would be Victor Osimhen, Adam Wharton, Matheus Cunha, and Jermaine Frimpong. What would you rate those 4 as a transfer window for Manchester United if we got all 4 of those?
I want Frimpong. I would want Cunha. Who are the other 2?
Wharton, Adam Wharton for Crystal Palace. He's an England international. Great guy. He brings the ball forward a lot from midfield. You'll see him in the next couple of years for England. He's that number 8 that will bring the ball forward and ping it. Kind of like what Bruno does now, but allows Bruno to play more as a 10. He's very similar to Bruno Fernandes aspect, and then Victor Osimhen.
Yeah, Osimhen. I don't have enough intel on this Wharton guy.
Yeah, go look at him. I think he's a fantastic player.
I've seen him, but I haven't like focused in on him like I haven't seen him a lot, like enough to make a decision on him yet. So I'll definitely be looking in. But yeah, sure, I'm all for it. But we definitely got to go out and get some of those guys that could be like inverted wingers to
Mhm.
play that 10 position
The
to give us
Frimpong, yeah.
some yeah, to give us some depth. Well, Frimpong will play as a right wing back,
Yeah.
right? So that's going to give support to whoever's the 10 on that right hand side. But we're
Amid
going to need
Diallo,
like
yeah.
another 10 that's possibly that could play more narrowly, right? Like
Mhm.
and we only have what we're dealing with is we have Garnacho. Our forward line is trash. Okay, we got to get away, and I don't know what we're gonna do with Garnacho, but what he did on this during this game was crazy. I think
Mhm.
he did show a little bit more of like, hey, I'm gonna be more willing to pass the ball. But once we could sort that position out a little bit more, I think the goals will start flying in. Because
Yeah.
for some reason yesterday it just seemed like none of us can cross
Yeah,
except for Bruno.
here's an interesting thing that I literally just thought of. If we get CUNHA in the summer, right, and we get Frimpong, so that would put CUNHA on the left 10, Amid Diallo as the right 10. We'll forget about the striker for now. Where does Bruno play? You drop him back in the 8 now?
Bruno can play where he wants, man.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, obviously, he's going to be on the pitch. He's our captain. So you're looking at potentially having Ugarte, Bruno, CUNHA, and an Amid Diallo as that spine to 10s. That's a pretty good looking. And with Frimpong and what's his name on the left, 𝙈𝙊𝙍 on the left as the wing back. That's an exciting attacking line if we can get a decent striker, dude. I know you haven't been liking too much of 𝙈𝙊𝙍 right yet, but if we look at
This game.
yeah, he's new. He's new to the league. He's young. He's going to. I fully believe that he is going to, learn more of the league. It took 𝗓𝗏 a little while. It took Ugarte a little while to learn this league. So and now I honestly think 𝗓𝗏's our best defender. We really did miss him when he's not on the field. But yeah, I'm excited for next year, and the fact that I can see what he's doing now, and I can see how much more crossing and attacking that we're having now. We just can't put the ball in the back of the net. So I really am excited for next year.
Yeah, I'll put a pin in that, and we will revisit that next year. But everybody's gonna get better. People have more money than we do,
Yeah.
so it's about what we do with our money, right, to make our situation better. And I believe that I think like Ronaldo's saying, she said, I fear Chelsea's gonna stick us with Sancho. We hope we get another buyer. Anthony looking like La Liga darling. Rashi won't be surprised if Vina pack him up. I need those deals to get done because I don't see why Chelsea would stay with Sancho. There's no
Yeah.
reason to. There's really, and unless he changes his career path in the next month, he's not even getting run out at this point. So what's stopping them from? All right, just take him back. Here's $5 extra million. We would spend that on a 20-year-old kid from South London that you've never heard of anyway.
Yeah.
So like, what's stopping them from doing that? Rashford with Aston Villa getting hit, possibly about to get hit. That sale's gonna look a little bit more tricky for me.
Yeah, it's gonna
And
look.
I know Anthony's going.
Yeah.
I know Mark what's his name? Barry likes to say that. Oh, they don't have the money. They don't have the money. I'm like, if they make the Champions League, they'll get the money and they'll put him in there.
And not only that,
they've been better with him.
yeah, there's a lot of reports that Atletico Madrid are looking at him too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's playing well over there. He's not overly exciting. I still think he's doing what he did at Man United. Played really well, and then the goals started to drop off because people figured him out. But he's playing decently enough in Spain that someone's going to pick him up. Okay, we're not going to get 60, 70 million for him. We're going to have to take a massive loss. But if we get 30 million for him, I'm more than happy to take it. Jadon Sancho, even if it's Dortmund, someone's going to pick him up for 20, 25 million. That's all Chelsea were going to pay us anyway. So if Chelsea don't pick him up, they send him back. We get 5 million for it. We sell him for 20. There's the 25 that we were originally going to get from Chelsea in the first place. Someone will buy Sancho for 20 million. It just will happen. Whether it's not going to be in the Premier League, but someone will buy him for 20 million. Rashford, playing decently over at Aston Villa right now. So again, another player that I don't see any issues with being sold for 35, 40 million. Because that's what Villa were offering. Well, it's talks that it was going to be about 40 million pounds for Rashford. Again, I'm also not opposed to him staying at Manchester United if he can continue what he's doing at Villa at Manchester United. But the problem is, we've seen that side of Rashford before where he plays great and then he just goes back to the way he was. But maybe
Rashford
now
doesn't fit this system. That's what it is. Villa are playing better because they have a better setup.
they do, yeah.
Yeah, they have a better setup. I mean, they have a coach that they've been with for a while now. So all those guys, and they have ballers over there. They've
Yeah.
gotten ballers. They've picked right. They picked right, and Rashford is just in a load of space. Run onto the space, run onto the ball, and cross it. And
Yeah.
we'll provide runners in the box. That's it. We'll provide the third and fourth runner, and even leave our defense vulnerable if need to. That's what they do, and they find it. They find the goal. So, um, yeah, the only we'll probably get if Rashford continues the vein of form that he's in now, he'll get sold anyway, right? And it's also a big name that's going to sell a lot of jerseys. So yeah, any team will be happy to have him. But for as far as Sancho goes, I don't think any. I think with all this shit that's happening now with him, and then a team paying to bring you back is
Yeah.
so detrimental, to your value that I don't see anybody paying that much money for him after all, because he's gonna be looked at as a flop. He's gonna be looked at as a Deli Alley.
Yeah. And
And where did that was where Deli Alley's at Como now.
yeah. That's the way his career's going. That's what happens when you surround yourself with people that just don't give a shit about your career and you fall into that trap of thinking you're better than what you actually are. Like he
I don't
was
know anything about that. I just know he's playing badly at the moment. He needs to play better.
yeah, it's just those talks of, him being surrounded by his old friends from London, and but that's just talks. That's just what it is. Mr. Green saying, Sean, that 14-year-old you talked about, JJ Gabriel future looks super bright. Yes, it does. The fact that he's in the under 18s at the age of 14 is incredible. Which is, I thought Kai Rooney was good, and Kai Rooney's the same age. The fact that Kai Rooney is in the under 18s is insane. It shows you how good JJ Gabriel really is. The problem is we got to try and keep a hold of him. There's going to be a lot of teams that are trying to pick him up at some point, just kind of like what we did with Obi and Aiden Heaven. One thing that I will say,
Yeah.
we're not scoring goals to win game. But I will say the one thing that I feel is drastically improved under Ruben Amorim is our defense. It looks bad because we're not scoring goals to win games. But I honestly, we'll talk about Lenny Euro, right? We've seen that. Was it 16 games in a row now that no one's dribbled past him?
Yep.
That's incredible. That's incredible in the Premier League. We're considering how fast some of the strikers are in the Premier League. I'm gonna say this, and this is gonna be. I think Lenny Euro, Aiden Heaven, and Matthijs de Ligt as a back three next year could be a really exciting back three. Because you got to remember, we're not going to get Martinez back to at least Christmas, January.
Yeah.
So I would start off with that back three. I think that's a very exciting young, because you remember, de Ligt's only 25. It's a young, exciting defense that we could have here at Manchester United for the next 5 years.
Yeah, I haven't seen enough of Aiden Heaven to give him a yay or nay.
Yeah.
I still think he has a little bit of there's times where he makes passes and I'm like, okay, this is a great pass and it was great decision making, but you look very scared doing this.
Yeah.
You got to settle down into the game. I haven't, but the sample size is too small for me to say. Lenny Euro's coming to his own. I think the kid is a Rolls Royce of a defender. He will, I think maybe a little bit of weight gain he'll benefit from, a little bit of strength, but long legs, has a good stride, could run, get around you, kind of like a little octopus that can get around you with the ball and take it from you. I love that about his game, and he's fearless. He goes against everybody. He's even keeled. There's no real attitude or emotion coming from him outside of the game. And yeah, I love a kid like that that's just playing head down and making it work. There's a reason why Real Madrid wanted him.
Hmm.
There's a reason. When the best come knocking, there's a reason why.
Yeah.
Okay, and sometimes we get it wrong. Sometimes we get it right. I think we got it right with him.
Do
The
you
late
do you know if it was a four? Does anybody here in the chat? Was it a 4 or 5 year deal? Because I really hope it was a 5 year deal. Let a euro.
That's a good question. I want to say
Yeah.
4 years, but I don't know for sure. But yeah, great signing.
Yeah.
Want to see him more. Want to see him. I mean, I think Martinez, and I hate to say this, sounds crazy, but Martinez getting hurt was probably like it was kind of a good thing. I don't want him to be hurt. Don't get that
Yeah.
fucked up. But it allowed some room for Lenny Euro to come in a little bit earlier than he probably would have, right?
Hmm.
Even though they don't play on that same side, it's like we got a need for with injury, we got a need for guys. I think Victor Lindelof did pretty well yesterday.
Yeah. When he came on.
Mazraoui with that goal save because it was going to be a goal. Like
Hmm.
goal saving, was able to nick the ball at the last minute. Mazraoui again, another guy, great signing. It's Mazraoui and Delict for me,
Yeah.
head and shoulders above everyone else as far as signings. And then I guess I'd give it to Euro and Ugarte. But Ugarte has a problem with passing the ball.
He
He has
does.
a real problem with giving the ball away. And we can't have him and Bruno doing it. It's okay when Bruno does it because Bruno's trying. He's a volume player. He needs to give the ball away in order to try things. But Ugarte will just win the ball viciously and then give it right back.
Yeah. He was like that at Sporting. He was like that at PSG.
So
Um,
good.
he is a ball winning CDM, but he does have a problem with progressing the ball. That will also come with better players on. But I think once we're playing better and we're more open, it will be better for him because he can have that grab the ball, just make a short pass. He's much better at making short passes. That's why I think he played much better with Martinez in the team because he would just play it to Martinez and Martinez would just ping the ball. Without Martinez in there, like Lenny Euro, as good as he played yesterday, some of his passing wasn't great either.
Yep.
And having Martinez right next to you, who is a great person that can ping the ball forward, I think he was a lot better with Martinez. Um, so I hope Aiden Heaven can be that guy too that can pass real well. One thing I do like about Aiden Heaven is his ability to turn a player and just progress the ball up the field. I think he's fantastic at that. But I really hope,
Very good.
you know, doing that with working with Ugarte to make that simple pass, be able to ping it forward. Because Ugate's not a guy that's ever going to get you a ball, get the ball, and then ping it 60 yards straight into a Paul Scholes style, straight into the next player. He just can't do that. He's a very limited player, but fantastic at winning the ball back. And there's something we've missed for so long.
Yeah, I gotta you gotta keep that ball, man. The better we get is the better we are is the way we take care of the ball, and that was shown yesterday. Like the when we took care of the ball in transition, all right, and played around their press, that is what you need to do at the highest level consistently.
Yeah.
And I get it, you're not gonna be able to do it every game, so I'm not on him.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to ride him about it. I think he's still very, very good. And I love the attitude he has as far as I'm going to get the ball, even if I'm going to have to take you out to get it. I love that. But he has to improve on his passing and keeping that thing and taking care of it. I'm big on that. I'm big on ball security. You have to keep that thing.
Yeah.
That's the best way of defense is possession. That's
It is.
better than fucking a goal line clearance. If we can have the ball and progress it, even if we're not doing anything, we have it. It's
Yeah.
ours, and we'll dictate the play. So when you're giving it away and you're also not a progressive passer, whereas like if Bruno does it and Bruno gives it away, I know Bruno's going to get us on the next one. He's
Yeah.
going to do something to get us right. He might be giving it away in a progressive style, like I'm putting it up 40 or 50 yards to meet a man, and it didn't quite get there this time, but it's going to come off next time. So once he gets better at that, because I don't even think it's a player thing. You just have to be able to get the ball to somebody when you're in trouble. Casemiro playing his way back in the team? I think Casemiro has been great the last few games.
Yeah.
I think he's been tough. He looks tough. He looks like he's chiseled up. His physique, it looks like he's gotten into some more shape.
That
His legs
tackle
are
on
gone.
Foden was phenomenal. Did you see that?
His legs are absolutely gone, but I think it's in him, right? He is a true professional of this game, a winner. He's a true winner, and I think that doesn't go away, for a long time. Class will stay. If he could continue this, I have no problem with him fighting for his place. And he's already said, "Look, I want to fight for my place here.
Yeah.
We're paying you a lot of money, so if he wants to improve, this is the time to do it." And I think he's been good the last few games, and it's kind of quiet that people aren't saying it because a lot of people have written him off already. But anybody that wants to improve in this team and have made a dedication to doing it, I'm here for you. I'm gonna back you. So shouts to Casemiro.
For me, Casemiro, yes, he's played his way back into the team. I fully expect him to start on Thursday. I really do. But my problem with Casemiro is another year older next year. If he is going to stay, I don't see him being more than a bench player next season, which is not a bad thing. When you've got a guy that's won that amount of things like Casemiro does, and like you just said, he's a winner. He's gonna fight for his place. I think it's great to have something like someone like that to come off the bench. If you for next season, the end of the game, shore things up, because you save his legs. He isn't a player that's injured often at Man United, which is a great thing considering his age. So yeah, if he wants to stay, he's more of a bench player next year. But is that something we want? Someone that's on around 300 grand a week? And let's not forget, if we qualify for Champions League, our wage structure goes up by 25%. Because as of right now, these players took a 25% hit on their wages for not making the Champions League. Do we want to pay Casemiro another? If we make the Champions League, another 25% on his wages? That's a lot of money. Considering if Rashford goes and Sancho goes, he will be our most expensive player at Manchester United at the age of 31. That's a lot of money.
I mean, yeah, but if he's playing well, then it'll justify the price tag,
Yeah,
right?
I
If
agree.
you're
Yeah,
giving us consistent performances, especially when if we're injured or whatever, you could come out and be the 4 or 5 time Champions League winner that you've been. He's also not at 31 isn't a death sentence anymore like it
no,
was, right? Like 10 years ago, people were hanging it up at 31 or looking to their third or fourth side like, okay, this is what can I produce? Getting a position change at this time. You could play. Bruno's 30. Bruno be 30,
yeah,
like is the next year going to be over for him? Is he going to be done? Because then, so it's like if he can give us consistent, and this is he's just playing regular now. I'm not even thinking about, but if he can continue to give us performances and be the guy that we need at the right time, like he's been for the last few games. I'm not saying he's blowing the barn doors off, but he can stay. Would I take 40 million for him? Of course, in a heartbeat.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Um, Talking about another sad piece of, I wanted to touch on this. I really feel bad for 𝙈𝙊𝙍𝙀. I'm not sure if you've heard the news. Leicester became the first side in Football League history. Football League, not the Premier League, Football League history, to lose 8 home games in a row without scoring a goal. Yeah,
And I thought they were going to be decent this year, Leicester.
yeah.
I had them staying up this year. I definitely did. I had the other two going down, but I had Leicester staying up. I don't feel bad. You took that job because it was available. Not all money's good money, and not all jobs are just not all opportunities are good ones either. The same goes for opportunity. Um, you took that job knowing that this team sucked. They don't their best player, well, their striker's 37 years old. 39, something like that. He's old as hell.
Yeah.
Good player, but he's old as shit. Like you should have looked at that team one time and said, Daka, I don't know. There's nobody on that team you could look to. I'm sure he took it because it was an offer and he thought he could do something. And that's what happens with these players, these ex-players. They get to these teams and think that they can embed a philosophy, their own philosophy, because they were great. And sometimes it doesn't work out. I think he'll get more work, but this is a blemish on his record, especially coming from, when he did pretty well on his last few games at Man United, right? He
Yeah.
did pretty decent. And that was a good way to get a stepping stool. Maybe he should have taken a job in a lower league at that point and then work his way back up. But taking the Leicester job, he knew what was coming with that. Just like how people gave slack to Amorim for taking the job.
Yeah.
at Man United and then start losing. They're like, well, he knew what it was. Amorim knew what it was too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I want to
I hope
touch on.
I love him. I love him. Good luck to you. I hopefully they keep him. I mean, they probably can't keep him now, but like hopefully they're able to keep him and they're able to come back up and he can orchestrate that.
Yeah, no, I really do.
Yeah,
Hope he does well over at Leicester.
that's sad.
Yeah, it is sad, dude. That's an impressive stat, but for the wrong reason.
Yeah.
Another interesting fact that I learned today: United's goals for is 37 right this season. We only scored 37 goals. Bruno Fernandes, as of today, has created more chances than any other player in the Premier League this season at 75, and we've only scored 37 goals.
This is Bruno. This is what Bruno does.
Yeah,
Bruno, you know what's a constant in this team? Bruno.
Bruno. He's the
As
best signing since Fergie by far.
100%. As bad as he's been sometimes, right? He'll get you a goal out of nowhere, and our reliance on him is unfair. It's unfair that one guy has to carry this whole team and watch guys go in and out of this team and go to other teams and flourish and do better and be on other sides that do things. That guy, we are lucky to have him. And I don't care what Mandem FC says, because Mandem FC wants a certain play style no matter if we win or lose. They don't care if we win or lose. They just want to see beautiful football. Bruno don't play that. Bruno plays an ugly volume game that's going to come with some loss of possession, but it's going to come with moments of brilliance and it's going to come with pinpoint accuracy a lot of the time too and getting guys involved in the game. There's no way you could always be at the top of this list right here is nothing new. He's always at the top of this list. It'll be one or two guys that come up. It's him and De Bruyne that's always at the top of this list. And who did De Bruyne rate? Bruno.
Yeah.
Okay. Real recognize real. Bruno's the top player, and people need to stop playing with his name because it's making me mad.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's another thing I wanted to touch on, and we've touched on this in the past, is the ex players at it again. Like the punditry, like I honestly think that they don't feel this way. It's got to be clickbait at this point because it is horrendous. It is horrendous. Like Gary Neville yesterday, I know he apologized at one point, but I watched Roy Keane, and I'm just sitting there. I'm like, oh my god, like it's just
touch,
so
man.
bad.
They're so out of touch with what's like. And you know what's sad? It's like you can't tell them like I wouldn't sit in front. I probably would do it actually. I probably would sit right on the overlap and tell fucking Gary Neville that he's a dinosaur to the game. Just simple as. I probably bring up his record coaching in La Liga too. Um, I love Gary Neville. Gary Neville's one of the greatest players to play in English football history and for Man United, 100%. Never take it away from him. But this these guys are stuck in 2005.
Yeah.
They're stuck in 2003. And I just don't see. It's kind of like, you know what I liken it to? I liken it to when, because Shaq does this a lot in the NBA.
Yeah.
And people are starting to get on him about it now, right? The difference between them and Shaq is that they watch the game. Shaq doesn't watch the game. But you cannot down the product of this league. You cannot down this team and think it's going to get better as a legend. That I don't know how that works. That puts unnecessary added extra pressure that does not need to exist. I don't care what nobody says, that's what it does. If you play shit, you know you got a fucking rinsing coming from Roy Keane of all people. It's coming from him. And I get it. You could say what you want and tell the truth. Nobody's saying not. But some of these things, even when they play well, even when it's like, oh, why are they hugging people? Why are they looking like they got to get a Sunday roast? And it's like, God damn. Like, just because you guys were stoic and mentally ill and that was viewed as tough and strong at the time, doesn't mean these guys have to. A lot of these guys play together. They play for the same national teams.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're going to remain doing that. I just want to see what's going on the pitch. Call it as you see it on the pitch. Give us some tactical insight. But this personality slander and stuff that they're doing and, oh, well, I don't know, this was boring. The game was boring. 100% it was boring.
Hmm.
But, Do they pay you big bucks at Sky Sports to just tell us that? I don't know. We do it for free.
I think Sky Sports has become clickbait now. It's just one of those things.
Of
Like,
course, it's
yeah,
media.
that's how you get viewership, and it's the same on YouTube. It's the same at, like, TikTok. You know, it's clickbait. You put that headline up, make people click, and that's just what it is for me.
I
I
have
feel
no
like it's
problem with
clickbait.
criticism. Criticism, nobody is above a reproach at this team. We criticize. I just spent 20 or 30 minutes criticizing some of these guys like Ugarte. And people look at me like, well, you fat bitch. Why do you think you could say anything about these guys? You know what I'm saying? That's fine. Why do you think you're that's not what I'm saying. It's just that like there's no upside. Like I remember today I saw somebody, I was watching DR Sports and they're like, are you guys kind of seeing what's going on with like Amorim's system? Is it working? They asked Roy Keane the same thing, and he couldn't say yeah. He was like, yeah, but and he went to something else, and it's like
Yeah,
everybody's seeing it's working. Look how good we're defending. Look how we're keeping the ball. Look how we're playing around the press. Look how we don't look so fucking sad
yeah.
as we have before. But he just can't say it, find it in his heart to say anything positive. You have to be the absolute best in order for him to find any kind of nice thing to say about you. And I just don't. I don't agree.
No, I don't agree either. But that's just the way it is now. I've kind of stopped watching Sky Sports now. It reminds me of ESPN commentary,
Yeah.
but with better players. It's just Roy Keane and Gary Neville were way better players than Craig Burley. So it started to really irritate me. So I just don't watch it anymore.
Yeah, when it comes from Craig Burley and Steve Nickel, I really don't want to hear it. I
Right.
really don't want to hear from them. To be honest, outside of Nejum Ochoa, I kind of don't want to hear a lot of them guys talk. To be honest, he's the only good one they got. And he played for City back in the day.
Yeah. No, I agree. It's ESPN commentary of football is just horrendous.
Uh,
But onto some positive news though. It looks like Amad Diallo has posted online that he's progressing well. We could see him at the big end of this month, beginning of next month potentially. What's your thoughts on that? Are you excited to see him back, or are you one of those players that would more kind of look to have him sit for the rest of the season? There are some people out there that want him to just sit for the season.
I would like him to sit, but I know he can't. I know
Yeah,
that's unreasonable,
yeah,
and I just know he's been riddled with injury a little bit. The start of last season. We lost him for a good chunk of this season. Kobe Manu's the same way. I just don't see a rush on bringing it. It all depends on how we do in this round here.
yeah,
If we're able to get past Leon without him, I'll take my chances with this team, and I'll take my chances on sitting him.
yeah,
But if we look terrible against them and we still manage to squeak by, then bring him back in. If he's good by the second game of the Leon fixture, if he's good by the second game of that Europa League fixture, then I'm all right with that. I'll bring him back in, but it just depends on how we do. And I think uh, goals aside, we have been coming around.
yeah.
I think we're coming around. That game was awful yesterday, but at the same time, I still feel like we did pretty good. I was happy with a lot of our passage of play. I don't think anybody can sit there and be like, you know what? We were pinging that thing around. We
Mhm.
really were. But when you don't get a goal, everybody's like, well, you didn't score, so how could you have possibly played good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's the thing though. We're missing goals because Amad Diallo's out the team. So
Yeah.
that's for me. That's why if we can get anywhere close to, like, if we beat Leon in both, like, we get past them. I'm more than happy for him to come back because if it looks like, Atletico in the semi-finals, I know Rangers ain't going to be an easy game, especially in Scotland. But I still expect them to get past Rangers. That's going to be a
Rangers been slow.
hard game for Manchester United. Nico Williams is an incredible player. I still think we've got enough in defense to deal with him, but it's still going to be a hard game for Manchester United. And having him Diallo back is only going to strengthen our team. It looks like Kobe Mainu is going to be available here in the next couple of weeks. He's back in training on the field, so that's good news. Delit, I know he got a knock, so he may be out for Thursday. What's your thoughts on that one? You think we're okay without him?
I feel like we didn't do too badly against City without him.
Yeah.
and City could get a goal on you in the second. They could get it on you in the first minute. Listen, this is as bad as they've been. They still are on to win an FA Cup, and they're probably going to do it.
And
Right?
they're
As
still on
bad
to
as
getting top 4, top 5
yeah,
too.
they're
So
probably going to get in the Champions League. As bad as this is bad for City is fifth place. Right? This is dreadful for them. Let's say that this is like awful for them. But they're also loaded with cash and have cheated to get to where they are. So like this, of course, is what their
allegedly,
standard of a bad season is. Oh, okay. Allegedly, then
we have to
I
say that for financial reasons. We don't want to get. We're a small
uh,
YouTube channel, but we still have to say allegedly.
I think you guys cheated. That's my personal opinion. I have no facts to back that up yet. We'll see what happens when you come out of court. But I think there was some cheating going on there. We'll find out. Everybody needs their day in court, right? But yeah, uh, look at what they consider bad, right? They're probably still on to win something. So that wasn't a slouch team we played. They're probably not performing as they're used to, but what they're used to is the mountain, the top of the mountain. They're better than 90% of teams in the nation, probably in Europe, probably in the world. They're better than, right? So if we could contain either team, I fear no team in the rest of this thing going on here. I don't fear them. I think Newcastle is the only team I feel like is going to give us a fit as of late. I think we could lose to any team. We could lose on any day. Anybody can lose on any day. But if we talk about man for man, if we match up, it just depends on what United that we bring. And if we bring the United that played against this City side, and we could find some goals, perhaps we might be in business. But everybody's going to play us differently, right? There's guys that aren't going to let us have the ball, and they're going to be more adept at attacking than we are, that we can defend. So who knows, man? Who knows? De Ligt is a big miss.
Yeah, he's going to be a big miss if he doesn't make the team. Just a big shout out to 𝙈𝙊𝙍𝙀 tonight, scoring a brace in the under-21s against Forest today.
He's proven, man. It's time to just bring him up.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised with the fact we weren't scoring a goal anyway, that he wasn't put on at the weekend. And one of the biggest things that like I was so mad about is like I'm so excited to see Mason Mount. Everyone criticizes this. So exciting to see him get back in the team, and then you put him in the 6, 8 place, and I was like, "What are you doing? What are you doing? Put him in the 10. Take Garnacho off and put him in that place." I was so upset with that. I was, "What are you doing?"
I don't know what Amorim's thing is with Garnacho. I feel like he likes Garnacho a lot.
I'm wondering if he's just playing him now, one, just to get by till the end of the season because we don't want to see another, childish fit from him again.
Oh, that's bad. That's bad man management if you worry about what the player thinks.
I know.
When has he ever done that?
He hasn't.
Rashford, he said, Rashford, go get it on your own.
Yeah.
And he let him go about his business.
Yeah. It's just, I don't understand his obsession with having Garnacho in there because what was he? One of the worst in the league on his dribbling percentages. It was horrendous.
Bruno's up there too, though.
Yeah. But Bruno gives you more, though. He gives you goals. He gives you more creativity than Garnacho does. Garnacho doesn't even see Dorgu running past him.
That stat is really I don't like that stat. I don't think it gives you a good measurement of people because it's like if you're asked to dribble a lot, you're gonna lose the ball quite a lot, right?
No, I get that, but having one of the worst in the league is not good.
If you're forced to have the ball a lot more than other, like how many times on average does a football player get a chance to dribble past someone?
Not very often in today's game.
So if you get it and you're 20 years old and you get it 30 times, right? And you get it off maybe let's say 17 times or let's say 19 times. Yeah, the rest of that amount is you not getting off. So now I'm putting in this category of people who don't get the ball twice as much as me or get a chance to lose it half as much as I do, right? And now it's like, oh, I'm the worst at it now. And it's like, well, I get it a lot. It's kind of like with Onana with saves. Remember that back in the day when we were like, well, he gets the ball shot at him 50 times a game. Yeah. Of course he's going to let in 12 goals if you shoot at him 50 times. It's not necessarily the same as far as like saves and dribbles, but like the usage amount.
Yeah, I get it.
Kind of off there, but he also is very dumb with the ball and has bad decision making. So
his decision making when it comes to whether he needs to cross or shoot pretty horrendous.
I'm biased when it comes to Garnacho because, like, I still think there's a player there, and I like the kid.
Yeah. What the last talking point for me, 𝗕𝙊𝙍𝙍 sporting director Menu Giado, I hope I'm saying that correctly, is saying still early, but we're trying
Probably
in
not.
different ways to do everything possible to continue enjoying Anthony. Um, if you're continuing to enjoy Anthony and you want him at your team, then fucking buy him because I don't want another goddamn loan next season.
They don't have the money like Mark Barry says, and they don't. That's why they do. That's why Isco's saying we need to crowdsource.
Then say
They
to
know
Man
they don't
United,
have
we'll
it.
give you 20 million and we'll pay the other 20 million in installments. Just buy him. I just don't want to see another loan because it's going to end with us paying more wages.
We need that money. We need that money on signing day, man.
Yeah.
We need that money we need that check to clear that Monday when we go to the bank.
Yeah.
To buy 75 million for Anthony. Anthony's price tag is up. If he continues this run of form, bro, I don't see why not. I mean, he's tearing it up where he's at now. I got love for Anthony, man. I'm glad that he went and got it out the mud someplace else because, it wasn't looking too good for him here. You know what? I think we could use him. Like, we could have used him now. Like, I thought that would have been okay, but he just doesn't match up with this league. This league it's a little bit, and then this system that we're in with Amorim, we tried it and it
Yeah.
didn't work. But yeah, we need
75
that
million
money
for
now, man.
Anthony is insane, though. Like,
We
there's
need, yeah,
nobody
that's
on this planet that's paying 75 million
no,
for Anthony.
nobody's paying past 45 for that dude.
No.
Not at this stage. Sorry,
Yeah.
he'll go to Saudi
Yeah, if
and
Saudi wanted for
spend that
75,
money there.
that'd be perfect.
He just has to want to go, and he's a guy that wants that money. He's from nothing. He comes from nothing, man. You ever read his backstory? He
Yeah.
comes from a place called Hell.
Yeah.
They call it Hell in Brazil. They call it Hell. So get paid, bro. Just not at Man United.
Absolutely. Anything else you want to add for today's show?
No, man. I want to say, actually, yeah. Shout out to my boy Barry at the ATL MUFC. Shout out to Barry. Much love to Barry. We just recently unveiled our new flag. Um, I designed that thing. I contacted the Barmy flag guys. Shouts to Charlie. Charlie, hope you're in good spirits. He's under a little bit of hospital care at the moment. So Charlie, our prayers are with you and your family at the moment. But yeah, Charlie's well known for making every flag that you've seen flown um, in Man United in OT. He's done some Big Lily work. He's done all of that stuff, bro. If you know what Big Lily is. Um, and I had to contact him to get our thing officially made by the master himself. And we unveiled it. We had a bunch of people come in and they paid, gave us some money towards a raffle to pay for the flag. And it was beautiful. It was a beautiful thing. We had a birthday. Shouts to Shamoon. Happy birthday. And yeah, man, this football thing is more about wins and losses and stats and all that crazy shit. It's all about community.
Yeah.
And I'm into building community. So shouts to my ATL MUFC community. I'm never not gonna be ATL MUFC. I'll always be ATL MUFC, no matter what anybody says. I'm one of those guys in there. You know what it is when you see me. So shouts to everybody for getting involved with that, man. But that's all I got.
Yeah. Yeah, that's I just want to say I hope I'm not going to be on the show tomorrow. I'm flying to Philly tomorrow night. I'm not sure if Mikey will be, but he'll let you know. So it's up to the other guys if there's going to be casual Reds tomorrow. I will be back for the Thursday show. Obviously we've got the first game in Europa League on Thursday, so me and Mikey will be back on for that to give our breakdown and hopefully a good win for Man United. Do you want to do your score prediction just in case? I'm gonna go with 2-1 to Man United.
This Leon side is tricky.
Mm-hmm. They are. They can score goals.
They've lost to some teams they shouldn't have, but that's not really gonna help us in our thing, right?
Yeah.
I'll say have Mr. Green come on Oh, okay. Hey, I might can make it for Mr. Green. Mr. Green on those. Mr. Green, holler at me, bro. Are you gonna be free tomorrow for those casuals? Mr. Green's one of us, man. Shouts to Canada. It'll never be the 51st state. It's always Canada, baby. Um, I will go 2-0 United.
2-0 United.
2-0. I think we're defending very good at this time right now.
Hmm.
And we'll be able to hold them off and we'll find some goals. I think Bruno will score twice.
Well, whoever scores, I don't care as long as we get a nice win. It's going to be away on Thursday, so it's all important to get a win, especially away from home. Our home form isn't exactly the greatest this season, so yeah, getting a minimum of a draw tomorrow is deadly important for Man United to progress. So, but other than that, we'll see you Thursday. Peace out and glory, Man United. We'll speak to you soon, guys.